Welcome back to another episode of Digging Deep. It is so lovely to have you. Today I'm joined with someone who I'm really excited for you guys to hear from and also to share this space with. I talk a lot about love and dating and relationships, but I think it's really important to pull men into this conversation just because it can very often be talking at men instead of with them about these things. So, Winston, thank you for joining me on the pod.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody?
Yes, welcome.
I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, go ahead and tell the people where you're from, what you do, and then something that people may think is not that deep as it pertains to dating that is that deep to you.
Okay, cool. My name is Winston T. I am a DJ and producer, co-owner of the creative agency and company OM, Phoenix-based. What else did you ask me? That was basically everything?
Yeah, that's basically everything, but what's something that's deep to you
cool.
as it pertains to dating?
Damn, I didn't think I was going to get all that into one this so
I know,
quick.
you got that out. Good job.
Man, I knew that you was going to give me this heavy-ass question, too.
Listen, we're on Digging Deep. You got to dig deep.
Something that I think people don't think is that deep, but it really is that deep, is a situationship.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's what I think. I think it can be casual, but I do think that like it's a little bit deeper than a situationship, and I think the term is just kind of loosely thrown around now.
I agree. I feel like, because my answer would have been like the language we use around relationships, so like even just like the way that we talk about sex too, which we'll get into later, but like I don't know, words matter. I talk about that all the time, but like truly pick your words wisely when we're talking about things like that.
100%. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Wait, do you know what I say next to get into the episode?
Oh, you say it's time to dig deep?
Yes, without further ado, it's time to dig deep. Wait, should we say it together or do you want to say it?
Actually, no, let's do it together. Let's do it together.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Without further ado, it's time to dig deep.
Good job.
I got that.
Okay, so to segue us into kind of more dating focused stuff, I'm going to start with talking about masculinity.
Cool.
Because I think that shapes the way that we show up in relationships. So, to get us going, what are some lessons or examples from boyhood that shaped the way you view masculinity? Whether it was explicit or implicit?
I think when it comes to, like, the implicit stuff, that would be me just kind of observing stuff that I would see. Like, I guess, that's hard. Because I had stepbrothers as well. I grew up with a single mother, though. So, like, I had stepbrothers and I had a stepfather growing up. But when they separated, it was oftentimes that I think I was together with my mom, just me and my mom, than I was with, like, me, my mom, and other men. Yeah. But I did take a lot of masculinity notes from my stepbrothers, especially because I was the baby. There was a middle child and there was an older one. High school, middle school, and elementary school. So there was a lot to unpack. Yeah. Also, the movies we would watch. I remember we watched a lot of comedy movies growing up. So like we watched like Rush Hours and like Fridays and stuff like that. Even like dumb movies like Nacho Libre and stuff like that. But little movies like this have stuff that kids just pick up on. Oh yeah. And I also got a lot from my grandfather, my uncles, just being around them. Yeah. And kind of the lack thereof of my father that also, taught me about masculinity, weirdly enough, you know. So.
Do you feel like you got, like, positive lessons from that, or more so was it, like, feeling pressure to, like, step up into this masculine role?
No, I didn't really feel like that because, for me, like, I felt like my mom just allowed me to exist. Yeah. And on top of that, like, my mom would always say stuff like, I'm your mom and your dad, like, in one.
And period.
So I could see, like, I just saw the way that she would present herself and move. Yeah. And, like, I never felt like I was lacking because I didn't know what I was missing.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah.
From your brothers, what do you feel like they taught you about being a man?
Man, but that's the thing.
Because they're so young, so it's kind of hard,
I was really young because I was like in second grade. I think my middle stepbrother was like probably in 7th or 8th grade, and then the oldest he had to be like a sophomore or something. But to me, like they were just my older brothers, and they were some badass kids. That's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah. From me, I learned like don't do this. To be fair, like from what I remember. Actually, I'm going to take that back. I was going to say, to be fair to what I remember, I think they respected women, but I do remember a time that some stuff did happen, that I heard stuff. Yeah. Especially it was in my family, too. So, like, really, I was like, yeah, this is too much. But I learned to control my emotions because of them, I feel like. I guess I never really thought about the lessons that I've learned from them.
Yeah, no, it's hard to, like, reflect on that stuff, too, because it's just, like, I feel like so many people are just in autopilot, and they take that into dating too, and they never question like, oh, like what does it mean to be a man? Yeah. What does it mean to be a woman? What does that mean to be together? Right. As those two roles. So like, it's very easy to just fall into the default of like our gender roles.
100%. Yeah. And I feel like the the image that they kind of portrayed was like the macho man. Like this was the era where people were saying like that's gay, and they were the ones who were influencing me as an elementary school student, like saying this stuff. But I didn't know what the ramifications were or what this was.
Just a word.
Exactly. You know, so like there was a lot of like negative and toxic masculinity traits that I definitely picked up on when I was younger because of that. But I was able to flourish and figure out my own path as I grew up. So
when did you start to kind of unlearn those toxic masculinity things?
It was probably later in high school, but definitely by the time I got into college, because I was on my own, like for real. Like I was able to pick up like I don't like that, or I don't like when people talk about these people that way, or like I remember like a big thing for me where I was like getting my individuality, especially as a man, I feel like was when like the topic of like transsexual started to come up. And you know, at let me figure out how I'm gonna say this. Like when the topic of transsexuals came up, I had people around me that were like talking down upon it or something like that, and then I realized like these are humans, like you know what I'm saying? These are the same people as me. I have friends who are transsexual, and it's nothing. It doesn't bother me, you know what I'm saying?
Doesn't affect me in any way.
There are so many men who I would actually get in debates in college about this, like people getting mad about the pronoun thing, and you can literally talk to these people and be like, when have you ever been in that situation?
No, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You've never actually been in that situation.
And if anything, just ask them what they prefer, and then be conscious about how you speak to them.
Exactly.
It's so simple.
And when I've been in those situations, that's all I did. I would be like, oh, what are your pronouns? And then the conversation continues.
And go on.
And there's been times, and this is the funniest part too. I actually had times, because when I switched my major, I was a journalism major, then I switched to popular music. And that's what, very open, very very liberal crowd. Like I loved it. It was really awesome. But there was a time where I mispronounced somebody. And I actually figured that out later, and I went back to them and I just apologized.
See, it's so simple.
And it was so simple. And they were like, oh, you're fine. I didn't even notice.
They probably appreciated that a lot, though, because like you said, a lot of men are incredibly transphobic. I don't know really where it stems from, but like the fact that you were able to go and have that conversation, just be like, hey, I'm sorry, won't happen again. It probably meant a lot to them.
I hope so.
Yeah, it was more so just like a personal pull of like observing how other men behave and being like, I don't really want to carry that with me anymore.
It wasn't like a comparison thing. It was just like internally, like I psychoanalyze everything. So I just kind of, the older I got, the more I realized there's shit that isn't as big a deal as people make it. And you got to really choose what you give a fuck about, you know?
Absolutely.
So like, for you to carry that hatred, it's like it's the same thing as racism. Like
you're going out of your way to hate that group of people.
Exactly, and it's like I don't have the time. Like I really don't. I really don't got the time.
That's what I feel about a lot of men that like are very pressed about, you know, the new wave of like misandrists, men labeling women who are like critical of the way that men behave.
Okay.
Like, you know, have you heard of that term?
I have not heard that term.
No? Okay, well, you're on the good side of the internet.
That's
but
good.
A lot of men...
I got a lot of brain rot. I got a lot of brain rot.
Well,
I don't know that word.
It's a different kind of brain rot. Different kind of brain rot. No, but there's a lot of men that will throw around the term misandrist, which is basically the opposite of misogynistic. So, misogyny is obviously men hating women. Misandrist would be women hating men. But they just put a blanket statement out of hating women for being critical of their behavior without understanding, like, well, why are women scared of me as a man? You know? So... Yeah, I feel like it's very easy to be unconscious about that stuff and just, like, not reflect personally. So that's awesome that you already, like, reflect on that stuff.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Going back to how it connects to dating, what does it mean for you to be a provider? And do you feel pressure to embody this role?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a fun one. I just feel like gender roles have changed so much that I don't really feel, like, a pressure to be a provider. Like, even... I think I've been in relationship situations where, like, I wasn't the one making the most money, right? And it didn't affect me or, like, affect my ego or anything. It was just, like...
That's just what it is.
That's just what it was. But I can't say 100% because I haven't been married and I haven't, you know, been in this long relationship where it's, like, I'm not progressing or something like that. You know, like, I feel like I don't feel pressure, but my goal is to provide. Like, I would love to be able to provide for my wife and my family. But I also am cool, like, if my wife wants to work, like, I'm not going to be like, nah, you gotta stay home. Stay home. Like, in an ideal world, we both can work and we're both rich. Like, you know.
There we go. Or better yet, 2 income, no kids.
You know? I want kids.
You want kids? Okay, well, still, good income.
I'm standing on that. I want kids.
Good income and kids.
Yes, good income and kids.
Do you feel like there was a pressure for you to embody, because I feel like a lot of men receive teachings that tell them to provide just strictly financially, but a lot of women are looking for men who provide emotionally as well. Do you feel like there was a pressure for you to take on both of those, or like do you feel one was more so stressed?
I feel like no matter what relationship you're in, you always have to provide emotional support for your partner. So like, I don't think I've ever been in a relationship where I haven't done that. And I feel like if you can't do that, like, dude, that's the bare minimum.
What do we do? No,
that's the fucking bare minimum.
Yeah.
So like, I don't ever feel pressure in that because I expect that from my partner, and I believe my partner expects that from me.
Yeah.
But again, like when it comes to like financial stuff, I just haven't been in a situation where me and my partner are like living in the same place together, kind of thing. So I haven't felt like that, or like we haven't had to divvy up funds and be like, okay, like our money's together.
Bread.
You know what I'm saying? So, but when I get to that point, it will probably change because it also depends on what my partner thinks too.
That's true. That's true. I want to bring up, because we're talking about specifically Gen Z dating. There's this study which I'll have you look at. You can either do it now or later, but just the headline alone, it's from King's College London. It was published on March 5th of this year. And it surveyed a bunch of men, different generations, over a bunch of different countries, and it's pointing out how a lot of men in our generation specifically are more interested in going back to like traditional gender norms, like rise of conservatism and like tradwifery, all that stuff. And almost a third of Gen Z men agree that a wife should obey her husband. Like that was like the big tagline. And there's a bunch of other like statements that they agreed with that kind of promotes that, and just like traditional gender norms. Have you seen that maybe in the crowd? Maybe not the crowd that you directly hang out with, but just like other men your age talking about these kind of things, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I just said earlier, like I think the gender roles have changed so much, and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah.
I think partially like my bias comes from being raised by a single mother and seeing her embody all the roles.
Yeah.
I think that I have those conversations more often than not. In places like a Scottsdale or something like that, but in downtown Phoenix, like I don't have those conversations. And not to say that there aren't people that probably believe it in like the traditional ways
and
want to go
progressive.
back. Yeah, you know, like they're more progressive and more open, and it's not like a dude, this has to happen.
Yeah.
But in like Scottsdale or even like where I work at, I actually talked to one of my coworkers today, and he kind of said something about that. And it kind of caught me off guard, but I understood because that might be his upbringing, that might be his reference point kind of thing. I don't agree with it, but I think that's what it just comes from your reference point and where you kind of were raised at. I'm actually shocked by that study though, because I read the headline. That's wild.
You gotta get into more of this because it is actually terrifying. Like I can't remember the specific percentage, but there was one study that said that we've gone so far to like not coddling women, but essentially like feeding into female empowerment that we're now putting men down.
Oh.
And a lot of Gen Z men agreed with that.
Wow.
Like we've done too much for feminism. I'm like, do y'all know there's still a wage gap? What? Women are still being abused. Like,
yeah, but and also on top of that, like the real study is that more women are working than men. The more women are
educated, more women can provide for themselves. Like we don't need men anymore.
And we're also seeing the uprise of the stay-at-home husband and also like the stay-at-home boyfriend. Like I forgot what study this was, but I saw a study that said that most men are comfortable just living off their woman's salary, like while she's a nurse or whatever, and he's at home playing video games. Like what?
Twitch streaming.
You know, so like. That's why that study shocks me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read that.
No, yeah, I'm like,
I know it's real.
We'll reference this. It's insane though.
Yeah.
When I first read that, I was like, "There's no way," because you'll see TikToks about like manosphere men, but it's like, oh, like you guys actually will double down on the study and say like, I full heart agree to that.
Just the following that like Andrew Tate and like Fresh and Fit already have is terrifying. Every time I get them on my feed, I always do like a deep dive back on their page. Yeah. I had to block Fresh and Fit because I was just so pissed. I just think it's crazy. Like they invite like 20 women on there just to like belittle them.
No, is that the popping the balloon one or no?
No, but that's Arlette. Arlette.
See, I don't even know these men's names. I just
Arlette's a girl. Arlette's a woman.
She's
just a black woman. She hosts it. She's getting paid now though, so shout out Arlette.
Shout out
Arlette. I just think that Pop the Balloon might be setting our people back a little bit.
Hey, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. I'm watching these
clips I see. They always are commenting on their hair, the way that they dress. I'm like, you guys.
And then I mean, it got viral. But Pop the Balloon is very entertaining. But like this Fresh and Fit shit is just like, it's just very toxic and it gets a lot. So Fresh and Fit's the one where everyone's around the big old table and it's the two black dudes. And yeah, like one of them's a dark dude and the other one, I forgot their name. One of them's darker and then one of them's he's mixed. But as soon as you see them, maybe you'll remember. I can't remember their names. Just the worst.
Ew! Ooh, yeah, I don't like that guy.
Yes, niggas.
He wrote a book, and I'll see his clips will pop up all the time of him arguing with people on college campuses.
Yeah, they're both 40 and not married, and they're trying to
argue about how women are evil.
Yeah, and spread the gospel. But it's like, what do you provide? What do you provide? Bro, you're not married, so what do you provide?
Okay, we'll segue into that actually, because I think talking about the manosphere definitely affects dating nowadays, because especially from a woman's perspective, it's terrifying to know, like, if the men that I'm going to engage with are secretly followers of that, and if they're going to treat me in a way that is incredibly harmful.
Wow, that's crazy. I never even thought about y'all to think about that. That's crazy.
It's terrifying, because you'll get with this guy, and then, you go into his repost, and it's fresh and fit, and it's like, so you think you're going to manipulate me? You think you're going to use that rhetoric on me? So, maybe, how have you seen that, or what do you think about, like, the manosphere in terms of how it affects masculinity?
I think it's awful. Like, I think it's the worst shit ever.
Yeah.
I just think it's just straight propaganda that's getting fed to the youth, so the traditional mindset can, like, go back. But I just think it's very harmful, and I think that it's making kids have very harmful rhetoric already. I don't like it, and I never did like it.
Yeah.
I always thought, like, Andrew Tate and them were joking, and then I saw,
you said, you guys are serious?
No, this is real. And then now that we have, like, claviculars and all these other people, like, it's
too much.
It's too much. It's just not positive, in my opinion. And I just think that people are too impressionable on the internet already. So I just think it's very harmful. And children are already very impressionable as well.
No, seriously. And they get these college kids. Like, their big thing is going on college campuses, because that's where people are learning how to think for themselves for the first time. So, like, let's get them when they're impressionable.
Exactly. And even as a kid watching that, like, I remember being a kid and always being like, yo, the older people are so much cooler. So you would see what they're doing and they're agreeing. And it's like, yo, like, the YouTube, I used to watch Rice Gum back in the day.
No,
like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Jake Paul, like, all that stuff.
Exactly.
Like, they weren't the best role models, but we watched them.
We watched them. And then you grow up and you rewatch the clips. I just saw a Rice Gum clip. Then you said, what the fuck? I was like, yo, I probably watched that video. And I was fucking 13 or whatever.
Just brain rotted, not thinking, just watch it.
Yeah, you know.
No. Do you think the male loneliness epidemic is an accurate diagnosis of the current state of men, or is there a deeper underlying epidemic?
Okay, I was excited to talk about this question.
Yes.
Because at first I was like, I don't know how to answer this. But, okay, when it comes to, like, the male loneliness epidemic, I do think it's a real thing. I'm not going to, especially in Men's Mental Health Month and Pride Month, shout out.
Right.
But in Men's Mental Health Month.
I didn't mean to ask this on Men's Mental Health Month.
Yeah, you know.
No, I'm an ally.
It's okay. But men have more suicides than women and are often more depressed than women will be. And I think it just comes from the way that, like, the system was made. Men were told not to open up, and men were told don't have feelings, don't show emotions.
And to lean into violence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, like, exactly. Boys don't cry kind of thing. Like, be a man. Like, that mindset is going to push you to not want to talk. And something that we talked about before, actually, is the boomer generation and how tough they had to be. And, like, that's our grandparents' generation.
Yeah.
Okay, so our grandparents' generation were all put to be, tough men. Like, these... Try talking to your grandpa and asking, like, a real question. Like, think about how much, like, I think the boomer generation lies so much because they just don't want to talk about stuff.
They push so much down, too, because, I mean, they lived through so many traumatic events, so it's like, I mean, I probably wouldn't want to relive that stuff, so. And
now we're there to respect your elders' phase. So you're not no one's going to tell them shit.
Yeah.
But, like, they're low-key the reason that system was built. Those motherfuckers was eating propaganda back in the day. Like, whatever my government says, I'm doing it.
No critical thinking whatsoever.
100%. But I really think it's just the system and the way that it gets provided. I do think it's a real thing, but I think that people are breaking out of it. But it actually goes back to what we're saying, because these podcasters who are talking about the traditional wife and going back to these conservative ways are trying to reinforce that old mentality back on the men. Like, why are you crying?
Exactly.
Like, you need to always look good. You know what I'm saying? Mogging, like, you know what I'm saying?
The only thing they have to offer is their wallets in their face. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
And the second a woman asks for more than that, she needs to get in the kitchen and shut up. That's what they're teaching them, though. It's actually so terrifying.
And also, like, the women that they choose on these podcasts, like, they actually will be, like, fucking with them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like this is affirmative. Like,
exactly.
These
it's
people,
like, you're a woman, so you should believe what she believes, because she's here on the pod.
Well, not even, like, I think, like, a clavicular is, like, a better example, because, like, he's literally, like, dating these women, and he'll be live, and he's, like, talking shit to them in their face. I at least saw a video of him talking to his girlfriend, like, I just cheated on you last night.
Oh, my God.
On stream with all these people watching. And she was so mad, but they ended up staying. I don't even know. I was like so long ago I saw this video, but all I know is he was on live with her and letting her know.
Did she do anything about it or no?
She was like cussing him out, but he was just like chat. Chat, what the fuck? Like,
dude, this bitch is crazy.
Yeah, like literally.
Sorry.
Like, what? I'm not even gonna lie. I think the video was dead ass like that. And she was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And he's like, "Yo, chat, what should we do today?" I'm gonna send you the video later.
Drop 50. Give me 50 thumbs up.
I'll send you the video later, and maybe you can put it in.
Yeah. How do you feel? Because going back to the male loneliness epidemic, I feel like a big solution to it would be men creating community with other men. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the times, we kind of talked about this before, men will put that emotional labor onto the women that they're with. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like we can kind of resolve that?
Like balance it out?
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of what we talked about earlier. Like, men just need to be more comfortable opening up with other men. Mm-hmm. Even family members. Maybe it's your sister. Maybe it's your brother. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, maybe it's your homegirl. Like, sometimes as a man, it's better to talk. If you don't have a great relationship with your mom, maybe, like, it's best to talk to a woman about some stuff sometimes. Mm-hmm. And, like, bounce it off, because we always have, like, even if you go to another, like, guy friend, you guys are guy friends because you already think so much alike. Like, it's good to, you know, expand outside of that.
Yeah.
But if you aren't at least talking to your friends, your guy friends, like, that's the bare minimum. Like, you should talk to your guy friends about stuff. Yeah. So all the pressure isn't always on your partner. I think it's okay to, like, come to your partner with problems.
Yeah.
I think it's actually like it's a fine line, because I think that you should be able to share and be open with your partner, but you also don't want to be overbearing and put the emotional weight on them. But to me, I would rather know everything, like, as a partner. Like, if you're going through something, like, just talk about it. I think it'll do more harm if you actually don't say something.
Real.
It's weird. That's a fine line, actually. I've never
thought about that. It's so hard to teeter, though, because like, I've seen, like, personally relationships, like, around me where one of the partners will take on more of the role of, like, a therapist, and that kind of, I'm not saying it ruins the romance, but it does take away from it being kind of like an equal partnership, because it's like, oh, like, I need to be here for you because you have no one else to emotionally dump on, which can kind of affect the relationship.
100%.
And usually it's the woman who's doing the emotional work, because women are taught that that's their only role. So it's
and
just
the man doesn't know how to open up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or the man automatically expects the woman to know how to handle his emotions. It's like, well, what about her internal world? Will you be able to hold space for her? So
that's interesting. That is true. That is true. And especially with, like, the way that men kind of brush off stuff like that. I've never been in the other shoes, so I'm not too sure. Yeah. I guess in my relationships, I feel like it's been pretty even. Like, if I'm going through stuff, but I never really, like, sometimes, like, familial stuff, like, especially if you're just dating, like, I'm not dumping all that on you. Like,
do you just process internally, or like?
My mom's, like, my best friend, so if it's family stuff, I'm talking about it with her, or I usually, like, if I can talk about it with Donovan, then that means I'm going to talk about it with my partner too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but if I'm not going to talk about it with Donovan, I'm talking about it with my mom. You know what I'm saying? So, it just depends.
Just having that one person that you can go to.
Yeah, so.
What does it mean to be a good guy, and is that enough?
That phrase, I feel so bad.
Deep. I brought this up because I've talked about so many men about this recently, because, again, going back to, like, the manosphere rhetoric, and just the whole, like, oh, nice guys finish last, or, like, labeling yourself as a good guy. As it stands right now, being a good guy just means being a non-violent man. Like, the bar is so low that the only thing that you need to be labeled a good guy is to just not be violent towards women. And again, that affects the way that women show up in dating, because it's like, well, are you really a good guy? Like, what makes you good other than not hitting me?
Right.
Because there has to be more than that.
Well, yeah, I even think that, like, the good guy term is something that, like, men put onto themselves. Like, oh, I'm a good guy. Like, she said she wants a good guy. But, like, I don't even think that it's, like, the violent thing. Like, not just, it is the violent thing, but I think it's on top of that. Like, men internally, when they're saying, like, oh, I'm a good guy, like, they think that they're providing everything this woman wants, and more often than not, it's just, you're overbearing as fuck. Like, I probably did that shit in middle school, where I was like, why the fuck won't she like me? Like, she said she wants a good guy. Like, I'm sure.
I'm pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm cool. Like, but you gotta understand, like, just through dating and, like, getting older, that there's more to offer than just, like, realistically, like, I respect if a woman's like, you're on my tax bracket, you know? Or, like, because a man can do the same thing to a woman as well. Like, you're not making it up, whatever. Like, you can do that kind of stuff, but it's much more that you might not be the height for her. You might not be funny enough. Like, you might not vibe. And that usually is when the men are mad. It's like, oh, she wants a good guy, but you was never vibing.
You don't have a personality, you don't have money. What are you offering?
You was never vibing. No. The vibe is usually the main thing, though. Like, outside, like, the personality will be so mid, and it's like, bro, y'all don't even mesh, and now you're, like, trauma dumping on her to make her stay. Like, that is, like, pure, like, middle school, high school shit, by the way. Like,
it's still a thing, though. Like, so many men are still moving through the world like that. Wow. And they're entitled to women.
Keep those friends away from me.
No. I'm like, I don't hang around them. That's why I usually don't engage with men, because they're scary or they're just entitled, and when they're entitled they get violent. So it's like, no matter what, I'm out.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
It's scary.
I would call that shit out though. Like
I always do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I saw that in one of my friends, I feel like I would have to call that out.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? I call my friends for some shit, bro. I'll call if I see something, like, bro, what you?
That's like the number one thing that I think needs to happen in order to change the state of dating is men being able to call out other men for their shit. Because they usually don't listen when it comes from a woman, unless it's their partner, and even then they're like, well, what do you know?
Yeah.
But if we want to bring male accountability into this space, it needs to come from other men.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, this is kind of completely unrelated, but we're going to go there anyways. Do you feel pressure to be a fixer in relationships? Because that kind of couples up with the provider mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do. And it's bad because when I rewatched your old episode, I was able to like process and see like what you guys kind of meant by that. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like internally as a man, and I don't know if I hate it or love it. Like I just noticed that I do it.
Yeah.
I do that in relationships, or I do that with my mom. I do that with my friends. Like when there's a problem, it's like let's do it now. Like let's get it fixed right now.
Yeah.
And sometimes that may not be the best approach. Like I can wholeheartedly say that might not be the best approach all the time. But yeah, I definitely have that mindset. Yeah. I think it's a lot of pressure. But it's also just like, I don't know, might be like the extrovert, the Sag in me. Like I just want to be cool. I just want to solve the problem.
You don't want there to be anything wrong,
I'm super I'm like super confrontational. Like I'm not scared of confrontation,
which is good.
So like I just want to nip it in the bud right away. Because more often than not, like you can nip something in the bud right away, and it doesn't have to lag on. Yeah. It's more often than not because one person's not saying anything. It's like that fucking movie cliche. I hate that shit.
Yeah, no, literally. I'm like, we could just talk about this.
Yeah, just say it. Just tell him what you want to tell him.
What do you feel?
I didn't have to watch an hour 30 of that movie.
This could be wrapped up in 20.
Yeah.
This could be wrapped up in 20. Do you feel like that's a pressure that you feel uniquely as a man, or just who you are?
I thought it was how I am, but I think it's because I'm a man. But it might be how I am. I'm not too sure. Yeah, no, but I never internalized like that. Sorry to cut you off. No,
you're good. You're good. Even in like media and stuff, like you were saying, like, well, there's always a situation where like the man is expected to like fix the issue or like go to the woman to make amends.
Exactly.
But then there's also the dynamic of like the woman is supposed to be the nurturer, so it's really confusing on like where to exist.
It is
in those situations.
It is, but yeah, I think listening to your partner is the best thing to do, because like it can. You just don't want to overwhelm your partner. Like maybe there's some time. I'm a big fan of fixing it right away, but I'm also a big fan of like let's take some space and then come back to each other, because like I think that in a relationship, if it's getting too much, like it's okay to take space and not want to nip it in the bud. But sometimes like
we gotta talk about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's figure this shit out.
Absolutely. Is love a priority? This is mainly kind of highlighting male versus female programming. I feel like men are very often taught to desire sex and lust, and it's okay for them to do that. And then women receive teachings to desire love. So there's already that kind of disconnect, which manifests later in just not seeing eye to eye on things.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you feel like love was a priority for you growing up, and how has that manifested into your relationships?
I guess so. I feel like I've always been a lover boy. Like I like dates. I like meeting women. I like talking to women. Like it's fun. Like it's cool. Like you'll find me at my happiest probably when you got that extra pep in your step. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I definitely think that is a real thing. Like I do think that men are taught to lust a lot more, and also like kind of like the way that you watch. It's all media for me. Like if you're watching those early 2000 comedy movies, that's really what it was. And then even if you're watching just like regular movies from the early 2000s, like I think The Notebook is a good example of that. Like I didn't even see The Notebook. I don't even know if I just said that. I don't even know why I just said that. Lying on the sofa.
You've never seen The Notebook?
I saw the ending with my roommate like once.
You've never seen the build up?
No, but I think. But wasn't she like? I know that she was really in love, but he was really in love too? Though,
he was the one that was more in love, and she got with another man because again she was marrying for money, not for love. And then he wrote to her every day for a year. Okay. Sent her letters, but she never got him. It was a whole thing.
Damn, wait, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Yeah. See, he was loving. He was a lover.
He was a lover boy. He was a yearner.
I do feel like maybe I'm gonna backtrack and retract my statement, because I do feel like more movies were like that growing up. Like I do feel like more movies were like that, so I don't know where this.
I feel like our generation, it started to be more of like, I mean...
Like, I do think it was us.
Yeah.
I think that sex just became less taboo with our generation, which I personally think is a good thing.
I do too. I think it's just gone to an extreme.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing in terms of conversation, but I can agree with that as well. Like, I think the casual hookup thing can sometimes blur the lines a little bit.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it would be positive if it was like, okay... sex is normal, we're talking about it, but also, like, we're receiving comprehensive sex ed at school, so we know, like, how to engage in it in a respectful way and, like, involve emotions and all of that stuff. But
that would be interesting, like, if they actually talked about that, like, the connection, because it was literally just, like, don't have sex.
Don't have sex. That's what sex ed is just literally abstain from it.
Yeah, don't ever have sex, like, wear a
sinful.
condom. But, like, it's the same thing as drugs. Like, tell kids don't do drugs, and what are they gonna do? It's like, we about to figure it out. It's like, tell us why not to do drugs. Like, explain it.
Exactly.
Like, just teach it. Like, just teach us about sex.
No,
you know?
I agree. Everybody, none of us will be here if no one had sex. Like, it's gonna happen, so inform people, that way they can make educated decisions.
100%.
Yeah.
But I do think, I think the conversation around sex is good. I just think that everyone's having it, so, like, why not?
And
I've always thought that. I was like, everyone's having sex. Why is no one talking about it?
No, I felt that way too.
Not that you have to walk around. It's like, this is weird. Like, we all got here from the same shit.
No, it's like an elephant in the room. That's what I've always said.
There's like an elephant in the room.
We all got here from that. So why are we acting like it doesn't exist?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
You feel there's a pressure to be more emotionally vulnerable with the women in your life as opposed to your male friendships?
If you asked me that like 10 years ago, I would have said yeah, but now no. No. Like, when I was in high school and stuff, like, I just didn't know how to open up, really. Like, it wasn't stuff that we talked about.
Yeah.
It was just like, let's fuck around. Like, let's just do the dumbest shit possible, you know? But now, when I got to college and I was trying to figure out my life and what I wanted to do, and just having people like Don was the first person, or like my longest friend out here. He was one of the first people I met out here. But I've known him for 6 years. So, like, that's someone I could really open up to. Yeah. This motherfucker I met like 2 years ago, and the first time I ever met him, like, we just opened up and talked.
That's beautiful.
Hey, because we were supposed to work on something.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, by the way, is Jesus. You can't see him.
We'll insert a picture of him here.
But we met up to work on stuff, and then we just started like chopping it up, and then we ended up getting pozole. But we were talking about everything. Like, it was cool. But I already knew he was going to be cool because Jesus and Donovan hung out before.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. And then, like, it got deeper, too, because I was meeting, like, Banks, and Banks was the same thing. Like, all these people I could just... Henry James is, like, one of the ones that I can open up to. Like, I call him... Like, we do our manager meetings, and it'll be like, yo, how are you doing, kind of thing. You
That's
know?
sweet, though. I feel like a lot of, like, artistic people, too. I don't know if that's related, but are very emotionally intelligent. Yeah. Like, they're able to just speak about that stuff freely.
100%. And also for me, like, I can read energy well. I feel like I don't want to toot my horn, but I can read energy well. So, like, if one of my friends are off, I know, and I don't like being awkward. Like I told you, I'm not afraid of confrontation. Right. Especially because if it's something I did, I'm like, let's nip it in the bud.
Let me know.
Let's nip it in the bud.
That's good though that you have male friendships, because I feel like that's very hard to come by, especially like being younger. Like, it's hard to find people that can talk about that stuff openly. Yeah,
and if you look at, I think the reason that it's like that for me is because I look at a lot of men who are grown and like they don't have friends. There's so many men
their friend is their wife.
Yeah, and then it's like, dude, that's why you're fucking depressed. Like, I do not ever want to be like that. Like, I want to be like, yo, I'm gonna go to my friend's house. Yeah. Like, I'm going to Donovan's house. We're playing poker or whatever. Right. Like, when I'm older, because I want to be able to. I don't want to be that old dude who's just like miserable in his relationship. My only friend's my wife.
Exactly. That.
Yeah, and my kids.
That's so much pressure on them.
That's a lot of fulfillment. There's like it's a lot of pressure. There's no fulfillment for yourself. So
yeah, no, especially too with male friendships, it's either that dynamic where they're putting that pressure on their kids and their wives, or they have male friends but they're just so surface level and shallow. Like, they always need a third thing to focus on. Yeah. Like, it's you, your friend, and you're playing a game. You're watching the football game, whatever, but you're not ever, like, talking about how your life is actually going. Yeah,
I've had friendships like that, and it was weird, and I started to peep game, especially when Donovan and I got closer, and, like, another person, too, you probably don't really know him, but he's one of my boys named Caden. Like, when I would hang out with them three, it would be us three, like, in college hanging out. It was just, like, we would just vibe out, we could just chill, and just hang out, and, like, talk about life, and be like, yo, this is what I think about this, whatever, kind of thing. But I also had friends where it was like that, or I've hung out with people, and I was like, bro, I left to hang out. Like, this is stuff that happened recently. Jeez. Where I didn't hang out with, like, any of my people. Yeah. And I go do this thing, and I'm with a bunch of dudes, and I'm like, yo, y'all don't know shit.
We didn't talk about anything of value.
No, y'all don't know shit. Like, not that I don't think that everything has to be a value. Like, sometimes you just want to, like, smoke with your boys, play, like, fucking 2K or whatever, and chill. But, like, it was just weird to me, like, that it was so surface level. And I was the outsider in the friend group, so it didn't make me feel like, oh shit, like, I need to make this. I didn't give a fuck. Yeah. But I would ask questions. I would ask a certain question to one of the people, and then the other person who was, like, closer to him, I thought, was like, oh, bro, I didn't even think I'd ask you about that. I was like, What
the basic question?
It was pretty basic. It was pretty basic.
We're going to get into a little bit more about dating. What do you think is kind of keeping men and women on different ends of dating and, like, making it hard for us to connect?
Social media, there's way too many options.
Get into that.
There's just so many options. Like, you can look on social media and be like, wow, who's this? Mm-hmm. And she's fucking 1,300 miles away, but you can DM her. Mm-hmm. Or same with a girl. Like, I think girls have endless options. Women have endless options because I remember starting a Tinder and it would be like, oh, you have like a couple matches, whatever.
Right.
But women will start a Tinder, they have 99 plus right away. I'm not on Tinder or anything.
But also, it's gremlins. It's like you snuck onto Earth.
Yes, but in there you get to that's a chooser mentality, and I really do think it's like that thing where women get who they want and men get who they can sometimes. Because sometimes, like, I think that you can get who you want as a man, though. Do not get me wrong. Like, I think you can get that, but I think it's a lot easier for women because you have so many options to be like, oh, I'm gonna narrow these down. Because I don't think it's the same for men, and I think that goes back into the male loneliness epidemic because there's so many options on there and people aren't feeling fulfilled because they're just scrolling all day. Yeah. But like, go outside.
No, go outside. Someone?
I promise you, if you go outside, a woman's gonna look at you and be like, whoa, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, maybe I should talk to her.
Start a connection.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, I think it's social media and there's too many options.
Are you keeping up? Sorry, this is kind of it. I promise it makes sense.
I'm paying attention.
Have you watched Love Island?
No, I haven't. I've been seeing clips though. I don't have a Peacock. I don't got a Peacock.
I'll give you my login because you need to stay up to date on
this.
It's insane.
I really want to watch it.
I just think it's fascinating because it is kind of just like a social experiment of how people show up in dating. Yeah. But there's this whole conversation on like being someone's type and like they're fixated on that. Like,
I hate that.
Just so superficial, but it's lasted the entirety of the show so far, which has been like 2 weeks, episodes every day. So like, they're still just bringing up, am I your type? What is your type? And it's coming from this white woman, of course, because she's never been not the beauty standard.
Oh, wow, well, yeah.
So she's experiencing what it's like to not have everybody go after her once. But I want to know your thoughts on that. Like, do you think that affects dating in person of just only going after your type and kind of being laser focused on finding that?
Yeah, I honestly think the whole my type thing is just weird as fuck. Like, I don't think that you should. I think that I think everyone implicitly has a type. Yeah. But like, every race has fine women. Like, every single race. I have never seen a race and be like, oh, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, that's impossible. Right. It's literally impossible. And I'm sure it's the same for women. Mm-hmm. Like, there has to be attractive men in every single race.
No, I always say my type is handsome.
Yeah.
I'll know it when I see it.
Exactly. Because you like what you like. Like, exactly. I never walked, like, when it comes to features, like, I'm sure everyone has features that they like, or like, I'm not gonna fuck with that because that might not be what I like. But like, when you get to know somebody, it's like, okay, this person's cool, and they're already attractive, so like, this working.
It just adds on.
Yeah.
No, I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day, and she was asking me. She had a very specific list of like things that she looks for, and I was just sitting there. I was just like, I couldn't tell you. I'm like, maybe dark eyes, but it's not like I would exclusively be like, no. Right. Like, if you're handsome, you're handsome. If you have a good personality, you have a good personality. Right. Like, there's nothing that I'm narrowed in on.
I think that's a better way. Like, I agree with my type when it comes to personality. That I can agree with actually. Because you know, like, there's people like you get in a relationship and then you hop out and you're like, I'm never dealing with that shit again. Yeah. So when you meet that person again, you're like, hell no. But for example, like, one of the biggest things for me, like, if I find a woman attractive, we gotta vibe on music. Like, for real, like, and we don't have to have the same exact music taste, but I want to be able to send you tracks and you're like, this is cool, or like, you send me tracks and I'm like, oh, this is super valid. Right. But like, for example, I've talked to women before, and then I'm like trying to guess their music taste. It actually happened to me like a couple weeks ago. I was talking to this girl, and I was like, "Oh, like, what kind of music do you listen to?" And she was like, "Oh, like EDM or something."
Ooh, you gotta go.
I was like, "Ooh, I don't want to just listen to that because I know what that means, and I just
that's
for
the
me
thing.
That's not
know this kind of culture people should be around,
right? And it's just like I'm not a big raver. I grew up in Vegas, but I wasn't going to raves. I was going to my rap concerts, my R&B shows, whatever I wanted to go see.
What shifts do you think needs to be made in order for dating to be mutually beneficial and equitable?
I don't know if I can answer that question like blanket, like with a blanket statement. I really think that I think what could be better just overall with our generation is communication. Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of people are in relationships and are scared to talk. And you see people in like 5-year relationships and then they break up. And it's like, what really happened? Right. Like, what really...
Because you guys didn't just change overnight one day.
No, like, you guys probably weren't working for so fucking long, and you were just like faking the funk. Yeah. Another thing that goes on with social media, because you want to look good all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, you always want to look good. you always have to look good with your partner. Because the moment you don't post with your partner, people know.
Exactly.
When I got out of my last relationship, people were like, yeah, I kind of figured. I was like,
Do people catch on?
Because people catch on, but you always catch on. Like, I see people break up or something, and I'm like, oh, like, they aren't posting each other anymore. Then you click the page. How long has it
been since he was in the comments? Ooh.
That's low key. That's the method. That's the method. Because you see that new post, it's like, ooh, that was not
you
like.
Said usually he's here immediately.
I go straight to the page. I'm like, hold up.
Yeah.
Check the
Whoa,
you ain't there. Yeah. Oh, that's a fun one. Yeah, always check the following. When they unfollow each other after 5.
Oh, you know it's done.
Whoa. I'm like, so something did happen overnight.
Yeah. No, literally.
Somebody cheated.
Come on.
I gotta talk to one of y'all.
He said, I am getting the tea, actually. I will find out.
I'm nosy as fuck.
Oh, me too. Nosy. Trust me, I look through the following.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm there. I'm like, wait. Oh, they follow each other again.
Oh, it's so fun. Me and my friends do this with our high school mutuals all the time. I'm like, ooh, they unfollowed each other.
Mm-hmm. You gotta keep tabs on people.
But you think communication is the number one thing?
Yeah, I just think that we gotta communicate better. Like, I think that the relationships that are really working, there are people who are in like 5-10 year relationships that it's really working, don't get me wrong. And I think it's because of communication or because they've known each other so well. Like the high school sweethearts who are still together. LeBron and Savannah, perfect example. They probably got great communication.
Okay.
They probably got great communication because once you're in a relationship, all that matters is that you two understand each other. Fuck what everybody else thinks. That's all that matters. So.
That's true. That's something that I'm learning too because I've never really dated seriously until this year, and I always wondered like why the people around me would be kind of closeted about their relationships, and I mean now I get it. Like it really does just matter what is going on between the two of you. Like no one else's opinion matters because. Even if you ask for advice at the end of the day, one, you have to be the one to like feel it for yourself, and two, like that's gonna affect just the two of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
I feel like too, Gen Z just doesn't know how to commit to anything, let alone a relationship.
Oh yeah,
which is hard. Like it's bad.
We're bad. They said Gen Z's gonna have 20 different jobs before they're like 40.
And that's true. I'm like, I'm halfway there.
That's probably true.
Shit, I'm halfway there.
But Gen Z just be quitting though. They're like, that's ain't for me.
That's the thing. They don't know how to. I mean, I'm not promoting like staying when something's obviously not working, but it's like you can get into a disagreement and stay and work through that.
I definitely agree with that.
The whole situationship thing too of like not wanting to be all in for someone because there's so many options, and if we're fighting, okay, can go with someone that won't fight or won't talk back or whatever, you know?
Right. Yeah. Even like this, so many options is like a fine line because I do think that like you should. I think it's okay to be, seeing all your options out, but I also think that like there's a point where because some people don't stop. Like, there's a point where it's like, okay, I'm exclusive with this person, but I did want to see what these other two were gonna go to. But as long as like everyone understands what's happening, then it's respectful and it's okay. But if you're fucking someone else over. Yeah.
Again, communicate. If you want to keep it open, you have to tell that person.
Yeah, just communicate. Communicate.
No. It's the whole paradox of choice thing. Like the more the more options you have, the less likely you are to make a good choice.
Yeah, that's for damn sure.
There's too many people to look at. Going back to kind of the situationship thing, what does casual mean to you? Because I have heard completely different definitions of what casual is.
Like casual sex?
Casual relationships, casual sex. Any of it.
Oh man. I guess a casual relationship is I don't fucking know.
It's hard to define.
I don't know, like
because I think that the relationship itself, like the structure of it can be casual, but I don't think sex can ever be casual. That's where I stand.
That's hard. I think sex can be casual, but I do think there's more layers to it than just casual. Like I think that like you have to mutually understand what you're about to do and then decide together what you're going to do. What does happen, and you and I did talk about this, is someone is going to end up lying in the end and then end up probably getting hurt because they don't want to say how much they feel, but they don't want the sex to stop. Right,
because even saying like, oh, like I have feelings for you now that we've been intimate, which is normal, doesn't mean that I want to be in a relationship with you. Like I think people get confused about that. They think
that's interesting. Like, I never. If I got feelings for you, I want to date you.
Well,
I'm like, let's figure this out.
You said we could make this work, actually.
Yeah, we could make this work.
Yeah, I don't know, because people assume that, like, the two options are either casual, completely non-committal, or you have to be dating to marry. But I'm like, you can...
Oh, I'm heavy on dating to marry. Like, I think you should be with somebody.
Yeah.
I think that's okay if you... Because I just don't understand, like, for me, like, I don't understand a casual dating thing where, like, I understand, like, if you're, I guess, casually hooking up and you just... Be that as it may, like you have to take the consequences of that as you go.
Yeah.
But I don't know about like a casual dating where it's like, oh, we're just doing this to see what happens, because like if I were to do that, if I meet someone who I really want to be with, I'm gone. Like,
be 10 toes down for him.
You know, and then you're gonna be hurt. Like this is, and I'm gonna be like, well, there was no strings attached. Yeah. And I think people get hurt. So casual dating is a no. But like, if you're an attractive person and you see another attractive person and y'all vibing, and you would like to have sex and you guys are both consensual, like,
go at it.
But there are consequences that come with that.
Exactly.
So I think sex can be casual, but it really depends on the two people. I do not think that you can casually date. I think that it's just a recipe for disaster.
On both ends, like man or woman, you just think that someone will eventually catch feelings.
Yeah, but I also really think you're wasting time. Because it's like, what
if you have a meaningful connection with someone and it's just a blip?
Oh, but to me that's just like, why aren't you dating? Like, why?
Because I've had your mindset my entire life up until literally like 3 months ago. I've thought that way of like, oh yeah, I'm only gonna be with someone if I can see them being my future partner like forever. Because love to me is about commitment. Like love isn't exclusive from commitment. Those things are conjoined. But I don't know. I feel like
interesting.
I'm definitely learning how to appreciate connections for what they are instead of putting pressure on them to last forever. Like if it does evolve into that, like that'll be a conversation. I'm big on communication, but I'm not like, oh, like first date, like you're gonna be my husband.
Oh,
you know
no,
what I mean?
Fuck no. I'm a couple of date kind of person, so I get exactly what you're saying. Like before we even said that we're like talking or whatever, or dating. But I don't know. Like if you're saying casual relationship in the terms of like two people are attracted to each other just hanging out, like I think that's okay because I still think that falls under the casual sex. But if you're talking about two people dating and they're like, let's just date and see what happens, and I don't want to marry you, like I think that's wasting time.
That's wasting time and that's reckless. No, I agree. Yeah. But also with casual sex, casual dating, whatever, nobody's talking to anybody.
What do you mean?
No one's like...
Oh, getting deeper?
No one's getting deep. They just go into it and they're just...
I get deep. I'm like, I want to know about your life. Like, what's happening?
Genuinely. And just communicating about, okay, what would I need in order for this to work? Like, what does that look... Well, and that's what I mean.
Because off rip, if we in that position, it's like, okay, I'm gonna set my boundaries up here. Like this is what I want.
See, I think you can have boundaries but still be casual because people assume that casual means careless. Yeah. Like casual, oh, you're not my girlfriend, so I don't owe you like any sort of emotional care, yada yada yada. But like, you're with another human.
In turn, it just happens though. Like if you're fucking someone and you guys like at a party or something and something happens to her. Or him or whoever it is, like, bro, you guys probably gonna end up talking about it there at the party because you're probably gonna be the confidant. Because they probably, if they aren't like hoeing around on you, like you're probably the only person that they've been close with, and they're gonna be like, yo, I gotta talk to you about this. Yeah. And then that's how you end up in a relationship. That's literally how you gonna end up in a relationship. I'm just letting y'all know.
One deep conversation, and then you're locked in.
Yeah, because what's gonna happen next? Oh, let me take you home. Oh, let me take you home. Now I wake up now I just been here a week. I've been at your crib a week. Like, what the fuck?
See, then have stronger boundaries.
Yeah, but I'm telling y'all, be careful.
Boundaries. Be careful.
I think you can do this.
It's scary out here.
You can do this shit casually, but it will probably end up either hurting you or you're going to start a relationship.
Going into sex then, what do you think? Actually, first of all, have you heard of the pleasure gap?
No, I haven't heard of this.
Okay, I'm pulling up the actual statistic. Okay, the pleasure gap is about the disparity in sexual satisfaction and frequency of orgasms between men and women. In heterosexual encounters, men achieve climax nearly 95% of the time, while women do not so as much, lower than 65%.
That's fucking wild.
So, I bring this up because it relates to casual relationships, right? Like, as a woman, I'm speaking from my perspective, but I've seen plenty of women talk about it. There is a fear that even if you go into something just with sex being the outcome, there's a big chance that you won't be satisfied. There's a big chance that he'll get off, you won't, he won't care about your pleasure. So, how do you think that men, being the ones that usually do reach climax, can go about bridging the pleasure gap? Which I know is a big question.
No, it's a good question. I think that you just got to talk to your partner. Like, communication is like the big through line for me. But you got to talk to your partner, figure out what they like, and then do it or don't. Like, don't do it and don't be in a relationship because like your partner may have something. Your partner may have something that they like
that you don't know about.
You just got to ask your partner. Like, if you're having sex with someone and you really are fucking with them, like you want to make sure they're having a good time. Yeah. I don't think. I just think that it's very important to talk to your partner and figure out what they like. And I also think that it's very important that both partners are satisfied. So just listen to your partner, because if you're with them, I think it's weird. Like I've heard stories, or I heard things about that stat. The 65% is actually higher than I thought it was going to be.
I know. I saw a stat of like between 30 and 40%.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way.
It's lower than 50 for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, there's no way. A lot of men don't know what they're doing.
They don't. They don't.
But like honestly, like I've been in that situation, but I just asked.
Exactly. Just ask your partner.
And they just fun. It's like, okay, this is dope. Like I figured this out. Like so.
And you'll get results. That's the thing. It's like if you're not there to please your partner, then what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I just don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Yeah. We kind of touched on this before, but we'll round it out to this. Do you think sex can ever be casual, and what would need to exist for that to happen?
I'm gonna be repetitive again.
That's okay.
For that to happen, there has to be good communication. And I think sex can be casual. Yeah, I think it can. I think it's dangerous, like I said earlier. But I think it can start off casual, but then it regardless, it's a connection. Like it's the deepest connection humanly possible.
People don't want to acknowledge that.
Yeah, and I think that's really the elephant in the room with like the taboo. That's the new taboo part of sex. I think. Like sex is talked about a lot, but no one's talking about like that it's further than a connection. But again, like I think that two people can have a conversation and decide that this is casual. I have friends who have done like the one night stand thing. I personally have not done that, but I have friends who've done one night stands and then they never see the person again, and that to me is casual sex.
Yeah, no,
like, and if they see each other again, like it usually is good terms. Yeah, like as long as it's fine. But you know, I think it's okay. But I think like if you do that one night stand and it keeps going or something, like you never know what's gonna happen. Like someone in turn is probably gonna catch feelings. So yeah.
I agree with communication being the through line with like improving dating in general, especially sex. I think too another thing that plays into kind of the fear, but also like correcting it, would be just like respect, which sounds like so stupid and like bare minimum to say, but like it's awful being in relationships with men like right now. Oh yeah. Like terrifying. Oh yeah. Because respect isn't an assumed thing. Like they expect it from you, but they never extend it to you first. And again, like we can get into so many statistics about male violence towards women and just like how dangerous it is to be with a man, and just a lot of men are oblivious to that fact.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like, I really didn't. I didn't know that. I knew about like the NFL players. And there's probably been a time where I was like, damn, I want to hit my mom, but I was not gonna hit my mom.
You said we're not gonna do it.
I was a kid.
Right.
I was a kid, and I was like, she just grounded me to my PlayStation.
Hit that pillow.
Yeah. You hit the pillow. You scream in the pillow. Yeah.
I love screaming in the pillow. That was my go-to.
I would punch the pillow though.
Me and Anita would sync up screaming.
Yeah, it was fire. It was fire.
It was crazy. But even with like male violence being normal, that bleeds into sex too. Just like the way that people show up and like immediately think that like, oh, they want aggressive things. Like, it's terrifying. It's terrifying.
Yeah, you gotta figure that part of sex. Like, you gotta be on the same page because like there are women who do like that shit, which is great, but not crazy. That's your decision.
But also, I always wonder: is that something that you actually want, or something you think you should want?
That is true. That is true.
I'm like, but that's like such a normal thing too. Even like choking, like the guys that I've gone out with this year, which literally has been like 2. Immediately they just assume that I would like to be choked while we're kissing.
While you're kissing is crazy.
Not anything crazy intimate, but while we're kissing, they just assume.
Yeah, I'm not gonna choke you, but I do like I like holding your neck, but like softly.
Right?
Like,
no, like tight grip.
It's not fun. I was like I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's spooky. It's just really hard to have those conversations. I mean, I'm very vocal about everything. Like, I don't think anything's too taboo. If you're having sex with someone and you can't talk about those things, then you probably shouldn't be having sex with them.
Yeah, I want to know what you like.
Okay, we got interrupted. My phone died. But thank you guys so much for watching. Winston, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Do you have any final words for the people before you go? Where can they find you, actually, to stay up to date and connected?
Follow me on Instagram at I am Winston T. That's pretty much it. That's all I use. I don't use TikTok.
It's like OM.
Oh, yeah. And then follow om.asterisk. Well, I feel like it's more like a Winston. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Follow om.asterisk. We do a lot of dope events in the city as well. Me and my boy Donovan started this company about 3 years ago. 3 years officially December.
Hell yeah, good for you guys.
Or in September actually. So yeah, it's gonna be dope. But final words, thank you for watching. And also I just want to say I'm not a professional in any of this topics. These are just my observations.
We just sit back and observe.
Observations from a young nigga for real.
Come on.
That's all it is.
In the club with the anthropological lens.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Thank you for having me though.
Of course. Bye.